The ocean has always held a powerful allure, a source of both wonder and fear. Its depths remain largely unexplored, its power often underestimated. Among the ocean's most destructive forces are tsunamis, immense waves capable of unimaginable devastation. These walls of water, often triggered by seismic events, can travel thousands of miles across open ocean, their energy building until they crash upon unsuspecting coastlines. One such event, the 1958 Lituya Bay tsunami, stands as a stark reminder of nature's raw power. This event, unique in its scale and violence, unfolded in a remote Alaskan fjord, forever etching its mark on the landscape and in the annals of natural disasters. Nestled amidst the rugged beauty of southeast Alaska lies Lituya Bay, a T-shaped fjord carved by ancient glaciers. Towering mountains, their peaks capped with snow and ice, rise dramatically from the water's edge. The bay, approximately 7 miles long and 2 miles wide, is connected to the Gulf of Alaska by a narrow channel. This dramatic landscape, while breathtaking in its beauty, also harbors a hidden danger. Its steep slopes and deep waters create a perfect amphitheater for amplifying the impact of natural disasters. Unknown to the few inhabitants who called this place home, Lituya Bay was a ticking time bomb, a geological pressure cooker waiting to erupt. On the evening of July 9, 1958, disaster struck. A massive earthquake, registering a magnitude of 7.9 on the Richter scale, ripped through the Fairweather Fault that runs along the Alaskan coast. The tremors were felt for hundreds of miles, but the epicenter lay perilously close to Lituya Bay. The earthquake's violent shaking triggered a catastrophic landslide on the northeastern shore. Over 40 million cubic yards of rock, ice, and debris, the equivalent of 300 million cars, broke free from the mountainside. This colossal mass plummeted over 3,000 feet into the narrow confines of Gilbert Inlet, the bay's northernmost arm. The impact of the landslide on Gilbert Inlet was instantaneous and catastrophic. In the blink of an eye, millions of tons of rock and earth plummeted into the water, displacing an enormous volume of water and sending shockwaves through the inlet. The sheer volume of material entering the water at such a high velocity generated a wave of unimaginable proportions. The force of the impact was so immense that it created a colossal wave, a towering wall of water that defied comprehension. This wasn't the typical tsunami caused by undersea earthquakes. Unlike the more common tsunamis that are triggered by seismic activity beneath the ocean floor, this wave was born from the violent displacement of water by the landslide. This was a megatsunami, a far rarer and more destructive phenomenon. Megatsunamis are characterized by their extraordinary height and the sheer volume of water they displace, making them far more devastating than their more common counterparts. Eyewitness accounts from those fortunate enough to survive described a wall of water, white with foam and debris, surging upwards towards the sky. Survivors recounted the terrifying sight of the wave as it loomed over them, a monstrous force of nature that seemed almost otherworldly in its power and scale. The wave, estimated to have reached a staggering 1,720 feet in height, taller than the Empire State Building, raced across the bay at speeds exceeding 100 miles per hour. The sheer speed and height of the wave left a trail of destruction in its wake, obliterating everything in its path and reshaping the landscape in an instant. The power of the megatsunami was a stark reminder of the raw and unpredictable force of nature, a force that can change the world in the blink of an eye. The megatsunami's impact on Lituya Bay was devastating. The wave, carrying millions of tons of rock and trees, scoured the shoreline clean. Trees were snapped like twigs, their bark stripped away, leaving only bare, white skeletons. The force of the wave was so powerful that it completely overtopped the headland at the entrance to Gilbert Inlet, stripping away soil and vegetation down to bedrock. Entire hillsides were reshaped, their contours forever altered by the wave's passage. Remarkably, despite the scale of the disaster, there were survivors. These individuals who faced the unimaginable lived to tell their stories, providing us with a window into the sheer force of nature and the indomitable will to survive. 3 fishing boats, anchored near the entrance of Lituya Bay, found themselves directly in the path of the megatsunami. The wave, towering over 1,700 feet, was an unstoppable force of nature, and these boats were right in its way. Their stories, harrowing accounts of survival against all odds, offer a glimpse into the terror and awe inspired by the wave. These survivors recount the moments leading up to the disaster, the sheer panic as the wave approached, and the desperate measures they took to stay alive. One boat, the Badger, was anchored near the center of the bay when the wave hit. The couple aboard had no time to react as the colossal wave surged towards them, lifting their boat high into the air. Its occupants, a married couple, described being lifted hundreds of feet, their boat tossed about like a toy. They clung to each other, holding on for dear life as the wave carried them over the treetops and back down into the bay. Miraculously, they rode the wave and managed to navigate through a maelstrom of debris, eventually reaching safety. The couple's quick thinking and sheer determination played a crucial role in their survival as they steered their damaged boat through the chaos. Their tale and the stories of the other survivors paint a vivid picture of the event's raw power and the resilience of the human spirit. These accounts remind us of the fragility of life and the strength that lies within us to overcome even the most daunting challenges. The survivors' tales are not just stories of survival, but also of hope, courage, and the unbreakable human spirit. The 1958 Lituya Bay tsunami sent shockwaves through the scientific community. This event was not just another natural disaster. It was a phenomenon that challenged existing scientific understanding and theories about the behavior and potential of tsunamis. It provided a sobering example of the destructive potential of megatsunamis, events previously considered rare and localized. The sheer scale of the waves, which reached heights of over 1,700 feet, was unprecedented and forced scientists to reconsider the potential impact of such events on coastal regions worldwide. The event highlighted the importance of understanding geological hazards in coastal areas, particularly in regions prone to earthquakes and landslides. The combination of a massive landslide triggered by an earthquake created a perfect storm, demonstrating how interconnected natural events can lead to catastrophic outcomes. Lituya Bay became a living laboratory, a place where scientists could study the aftermath of such a catastrophic event. Researchers from various disciplines, including geology, oceanography, and seismology, converged on the site to gather data and analyze the factors that contributed to the megatsunami. The lessons learned from Lituya Bay extend beyond the realm of science. The event underscored the need for improved disaster preparedness and early warning systems, not just for tsunamis, but for all natural hazards. Communities around the world began to take note, implementing measures to better protect their populations. The event serves as a stark reminder of the power of nature and the importance of respecting its fury. It is a testament to the fact that, despite our technological advancements, we remain vulnerable to the forces of the natural world. It underscores the need for preparedness and awareness, even in seemingly idyllic settings. Coastal communities in particular must remain vigilant and proactive in their efforts to mitigate the risks associated with living in such beautiful, yet potentially dangerous locations. The 1958 Lituya Bay tsunami, though a tragedy, ultimately advanced our understanding of these monstrous waves, hopefully paving the way for better preparedness and mitigation strategies in the future. The knowledge gained from this event has been instrumental in shaping modern tsunami research and has led to the development of more sophisticated models and warning systems designed to save lives and reduce damage in the event of future tsunamis. Today, the legacy of the Lituya Bay tsunami lives on in the continued efforts of scientists and policymakers to understand and mitigate the risks associated with megatsunamis. Educational programs and international collaborations have been established to share knowledge and best practices, ensuring that the lessons learned from Lituya Bay are not forgotten. As we look to the future, the story of Lituya Bay serves as both a cautionary tale and a source of inspiration. It reminds us of the importance of resilience, innovation, and the relentless pursuit of knowledge in the face of nature's most formidable challenges.